Hi, Jana. Oh, I don't mind telling the story of how I met Eva. I've told it before. A couple of years ago, 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago. It's not 5 years ago. Three, 4, 5. There's your number for today. It's a nice number. 3 years ago, I'm gonna say, I got laid off. I was told to leave my job. I was asked to leave. Offered a package. I sent the package to my daughter, and she said, "Nah." She goes, "Take the package." She goes, "You're gonna be 69." So, 69. I'm gonna be 73, 69, 77. 4 years ago. This August. I was shocked, and I took the package, and there were four of us, which it didn't lighten the blow, but it did in a way. We were four of us together. We were all over 60. I was the oldest, and they asked us to leave. They sort of gave us an offer we couldn't refuse. So I left. And then I was lost, I can't remember if my mother got sick already. I really don't remember now. I think she was. I think she was in the nursing home. She had fallen that summer. Or that February now, this month. Am I rambling? Anyway, I said, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Then my sister said to me, she goes, why don't you go to the senior center? I said, I don't know, the senior center. I remember my mother always saying, there's a bunch of old people over there. She only went once a week on Friday for the bingo. And I remember her telling me, there's a bunch of... And I said, what am I going to do? I said, let me just go to the senior center. So I don't know how I got the courage. I have no idea, okay? I went in, and everybody was like sitting together. Who's playing cards together, playing board games. They were like cliques, And then me, I walked in, and I'm looking around, and I had asked this one lady, one table, I said, can I sit here? There was, no, this seat is taken. I said, all right, fine. All of a sudden, the person in the other table turned around and said to me, here's a chair, you could sit here. It was Eva. I could start crying. It was Eva. And I said, okay. So I sat down, I was like this. And she started talking to me, okay? Is that true? That's verification, that's what they say. She started talking to me and everything. And then I remember she asked me, she goes, do you like happy hour? And I said, oh no, I don't do happy hour. I don't know why. Because I always say no. That's my MO. No, I don't do that. But next week or the next day or whenever I went back, I sat next to Eva. She waved at me. She said, sit here. I sat next to her. We talked a little bit more, and I got more comfortable with her. I get comfortable right away. You know what I mean? I don't know. She was very comfortable with me. And she asked me again, you do a happy hour? I said, no, I don't do it. I would go see my mother and spend the afternoon with my mother at the nursing home. Give her dinner. She was talking at that time still, my mother. She was still, I was still hopeful that she was going to come home. Because I'm delusional. And that's how we met. I met her at the social center. So if you have a social center or a church place, or a church, like you go on Sundays and maybe they have coffee after church, or they have, like my daughter's church is very friendly like that. Pastor Jeff, he is so beautiful. What a beautiful man. And because I'm not a churchgoer, but when I was staying at my daughter's house, if I was watching the kids on Saturday, which I don't do anymore, they're grown up now, we would go to church on Sunday. And I got to meet Pastor Jeff, and sometimes they'd have coffee, sometimes they'd have, whatever, cake sales or whatever. And then you meet people. I didn't ever met anybody because I always stay with my daughter. If I'm with somebody I know, I don't care. I don't see nobody else in the room. I'm bad like that. If I'm with you, I don't see anybody. I'm not looking at anybody. I don't care what they look like. I mean, I might, if I hear something, I might look, but otherwise, please, if I'm with you, I'm with you. So when I'm with my daughter or my grandkids, that's it. I got blinders on. But that's where you meet people. You could, if you go to a bingo, senior, of course, volunteer, all kinds of stuff. You just look in my community or something. You do it online. I don't know. There's all kinds of places to find, and that's how I love Eva. We brought it down to once a week. We kept it down to once a week. I see her at the Hannock on the party night. She's going to tell me what the parties are for April, and I see her at the party, and we make it our business to go out once a week, for lunch, for dinner, for happy hour, for something, or we go shopping. She loves Bloomingdale's. And I don't have a problem going into the city. I like the train. She likes the bus. We take the bus. I have no problem. But we take the train coming home. So we're like 50-50. Yeah, and that's it. This is what I'm wearing. I got to meet my daughter. I'm ready. I took my shower. I woke up. I don't know. Did my hair get better? I have my other pair of earrings. Still working on my coffee. So yeah, we're going to the city. I wore my ugliest boots I could find because I'm a boot person, and I don't care if they get wet. It's supposed to shower. It's supposed to sprinkle all day, I think. I got my umbrella. I'll bring my umbrella. I bought it yesterday. With Eva, but I didn't need it. I walked to Nico's. And that's it. Thank you for the question. Yeah, Eva, I don't know, she saved my life. I love her. And I don't blame you guys for loving her too.